So nothing else was done as far as them talking to Miss Johnny about
No.
acceptance of responsibility?
The only thing Miss Johnny said, they called and asked her for her updated address, and that was it.
Okay.
This hearing unfolds like watching a slow-motion collision. You can see exactly where it's headed, but the defendant just keeps pressing forward instead of stopping. From the moment it begins, she's sitting there acting as if the concept of accountability doesn't apply to her, almost pretending not to grasp how serious the situation really is. What's shocking is that she's just moments away from completely sabotaging her own plea deal. It's like she's allergic to responsibility, choosing confusion over clarity every single time. Some people walk into court like it's a game show, trying to negotiate their way out instead of realizing the stakes couldn't be higher. Except here, the prize isn't a car or cash. It's a trip to jail if things go south. You can see it on Judge Simpson's face, too. He's clearly reached his limit with the back-and-forth explanations. At that point, it's not even about legal strategy anymore. It's about someone refusing to take the lifeline they've already been given. What's wild is how often this happens in real cases. People talk themselves into a worse outcome when all they had to do was admit their mistake and move forward. Most plea deals are designed to help defendants take responsibility, avoid harsher penalties, and start rebuilding their lives. But when someone refuses to accept that chance, it's like watching them throw away the one tool that could have turned everything around. So, what's your take on this? Do you think she genuinely doesn't understand what she's risking, or is she just hoping to out-talk the system? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I'm curious to hear what you think. All right, let's jump into the footage and break down exactly how this hearing went off the rails.
So was there another one and then this was an updated one?
No, because I thought she was
Like
talking
this says
about,
this is an update. So is there an old PSI?
this is the old PSI that's in there. There isn't an updated one. She said the only update is this cover page.
Reflected on the cover page.
Right. So I don't know what that means. The only change reflected is the cover page.
They didn't do an updated one. Because I spoke with Miss Johnny, and she said this is the same one from the last PSI.
The old one is in here.
Here's both of them.
I guess I don't understand why we got two. I'm very confused.
Well, this was
Remind
one
me.
where she had pled and you refused to go along with the deal because she didn't accept responsibility for the crime.
Uh-huh.
And then we came back and she did accept responsibility, so we re-pled for the same.
Okay.
There was a different attorney involved on the first time, and then I was appointed.
Yeah, she pled in May of last year with a full deferred with Tom Burbank.
So nothing else was done as far as them talking to Miss Johnny about
No.
acceptance of responsibility?
The only thing Miss Johnny said, they called and asked her for her updated address, and that was it.
Okay. So, Miss Johnny, I'm going to ask you again, and I know we probably went through this before. First of all, you're Kirsten Johnny?
Yes.
And Miss Johnny, I want to make sure, because in that previously you said you didn't do it, you were forced to do it because of your financial, you were forced to plea because of your financial situation, and that it wasn't fair. And so tell me what your position is now.
I never really said I didn't do it. I said it was an accident.
Okay?
I still feel the same way a little bit.
All
I'm
right.
not even gonna say I do feel the same way.
Now, I understand, but you're not disagreeing that you didn't.
I said it was an accident. Somebody grabbing you by your foot. That's like somebody accidentally hit you in the back of your head. You're gonna have something that's normal.
Well, right, because you were not complying with what they told you to do to get out of the car, correct?
I was pulled over because I was in a high. I stayed in the area. I was pulled over because.
Hang on. Don't talk yourself out of this again. Because if you want to talk yourself out of it, we'll put it on the trial docket and we'll get it done in a few weeks and let a jury decide.
I'm not trying.
Look at me. I'm actually trying to help you right now. Okay? If you had complied and just done what he asked you to from the very beginning of that stop, none of this would have happened. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yeah.
No, do you agree? Listen to the question. Do you agree with that statement or do you disagree with that statement?
I don't want to lie.
You don't like it, do you? You don't think he should have done that?
It's not that. I feel like we was pulled over for no reason. If you follow,
It doesn't matter if you were pulled over for no, listen to me. This is why we're hearing stuff all over in the news. It doesn't matter what you think. If a cop pulls you over, then you take the ticket for not wearing your seatbelt. This is all over not wearing your seatbelt. And here you are in felony court and you're still not taking responsibility for the fact that he said, hey, ma'am, do this. And you said, I don't think you should have pulled me over, so I'm going to do whatever I want to do. And I'm going to lodge my foot against the door, and I'm not going to get out. I'm going to make you drag me out of my car, and then I'm going to kick you because you shouldn't have pulled me over in the first place. When all you had to do was get your ticket, go to JP court, and try to fight it there legally. But here you are in felony court for a second-degree felony instead.
I've got to be honest. This entire situation just radiates denial from start to finish. You can see it in the way she explains things, always reaching for a new excuse instead of just admitting, yes, I made a mistake. It's frustrating to watch because taking responsibility shouldn't feel like a punishment. But for some people, accountability seems like a burden they'll do anything to escape, that it's almost like admitting fault has become something people fear more than the actual consequences of their actions. The moment someone starts blaming everyone and everything else, the fight is already lost. Sure, the system isn't flawless, everyone knows that, but it's not designed to guide you through every wrong decision. At some point, adulthood means owning up to your choices and learning from them. What really stands out here is how she still seems convinced she can talk her way out of a situation that's clearly stacked against her. Watching it unfold is like seeing someone argue with the laws of gravity. You know exactly how it's going to end, but they keep insisting otherwise. That kind of thinking doesn't just delay progress, it destroys it. And honestly, I think some people become so attached to the role of the victim that they forget what accountability even feels like. Playing that part is easier than changing, easier than admitting you're the one in control of your outcomes. But that comfort zone comes with a cost. If she had just faced the truth when this all began, she might be done with the legal system by now instead of standing before the same judge again. This isn't bad luck. It's a pattern. It's not the universe working against her. It's the same habits, repeated over and over. And that's what makes this case so frustrating to watch. It leaves you wondering whether some people actually want help or if what they are really chasing is attention. Because at the end of the day, change only starts when the excuses stop.
So do you want to try to tell that story to a jury, or do you want to accept some responsibility today?
I don't feel like going to trial.
You don't feel like going to trial. Well, there's two parts to that question. Do you feel like accepting responsibility?
Yes, sir.
Do you think it would be a better idea next time you're pulled over to comply and just do what they ask you to?
Yes.
And Your Honor, just for the record, Miss Johnny did review the video with me in my office, so she is aware of what all transpired. She saw it.
Do you have any reason to believe she shouldn't be pleading to this from what you saw?
I do not.
So, you even saw how you acted.
I understand.
It's probably a good idea. All right. I'm going to find that you previously entered your plea of guilty freely and voluntarily. I'm going to find sufficient evidence to find you guilty. I'm going to follow the agreement that you made with the district attorney. I hope you prove me wrong on this, because I really have some concerns that you're going to be able to be successful, because you're not taking responsibility and you're not wanting to follow directions and things like that. And you're about to have 4 years of having to follow directions on probation. So I'm going to defer all proceedings for 4 years. You're ordered to pay a $500 fine. You're ordered to follow all of the rules and conditions of probation. If you do that, this is a great opportunity today, because you are not a convicted felon. You don't have that conviction on your record. And if you successfully complete it, follow all of the rules, you will never have a felony conviction. At the end of your probation, the case will actually be dismissed. The other side to that, though, and this is really important for you to understand, because we've had this conversation now so many times, I'm not likely to forget you. And you can ask anybody, and Ms. Holmes has known me for a long time. It's not usually good when I remember people, right? So if you violate your probation, you'll get brought back into court. You could be found guilty, which means you become a convicted felon, and I can sentence you to prison anywhere in the range of punishment, which is up to 20 years in prison for this. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm handing you the trial court certification that shows this was an agreement that I followed, so you've waived your right to appeal. You need to have a seat here in the courtroom. Probation will go over your paperwork as soon as they're ready.
Okay, and you said that I'm not considered a conviction felon, but I was told that even though you say that, it's still gonna be on my record.
So the arrest is on your record. The arrest will always be on your record. But so if you're asked a question on filling out an application for a job or something, if it says, have you been convicted of a felony? The answer is no. But if it says, have you ever been charged with a felony, or are you on probation for a felony? You are going to have to say yes to that. But the conviction part is still better than nothing, not having that conviction, right?
Yes.
Okay, have a seat in the courtroom. Watch for probation to call you up.
You know, I've got to give her credit for finally stepping up and taking responsibility for her actions. It's not easy to admit when you've messed up, but it's unfortunate that it often takes hitting the lowest point before some people realize what accountability really means. It shouldn't have to reach that stage for someone to make a change. That I'll never understand why so many people make simple situations so complicated just because they don't want to be told they are wrong. In today's world, owning your mistakes feels like a lost art. Accountability has become one of the rarest and most respected traits out there. Somewhere along the line, people started treating self-reflection as weakness, when in reality, it's one of the strongest things a person can do. What really stands out to me is how often the justice system offers second chances, yet people continue to throw them away. Probation, for example, isn't a punishment, it's an opportunity. It's a chance to prove you can rebuild your life and follow the rules before the consequences get worse. But too many people treat it like it's optional, as if the rules don't apply to them. The truth is, probation acts like a mirror. It shows exactly who's ready to grow and who's still stuck in old habits. You can't fake progress. It shows through your choices. I truly hope she uses this experience as a turning point, instead of another cycle of denial. Because at this point, she might be out of easy chances. That it's wild how much unnecessary damage pride can cause when a little humility could have prevented it all. Sometimes, just admitting you're wrong can save you from a world of trouble. What do you think about how the court handled this one? Was the ruling fair? Or do you think it should have been stricter? Share your thoughts in the comments below. I'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks so much for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stick around for more coverage and commentary on cases just like this.